Hey folks, um, so I got more of my books in the mail, um, different versions. Uh, Mostly they're different because like some are color, some are black and white, and then the other differences are mostly the covers are different, and then the paper is different on like at least one of them. Um, but yeah, like I've made eight. Yeah, I think I've made eight different versions of my book on Amazon through Amazon, and I've already got all of them. Um, Today I received the eighth version, which is just a black and white on off-white paper. Just I don't know. I just wanted to see. I apparently it's the same price as the white paper, but I just wanted to see if it looked any different. I mean, they're both fine. Like it's the color ones are much better, but black and white, it seems like it's good enough. Like there's only a couple of the images where it it sucks, where you can it's harder to make out some of the details with black and white, but the fact that it's more than less than half the cost, um you know it's like $7, seven something for the black and white ones, and it's uh what is it, 16 something for color ones. So just based on that, even though it is not as good, like I'm ordering a bunch of the black and white ones just so I can have cheaper versions that I can give out, and get more copies of it that way. I'll be able to afford more copies. But I also got a bunch of color versions. Like right now I have like 10, or I have like, yeah, I have like 10 or something because I just gave out a few. And but anyway, yesterday like um I went to Bookshop Santa Cruz, which is kind of the main like bookstore that's left here that after all the other bookstores got shut down, it's like the only bookstore in this county almost. And but anyway, they have a program for local authors. Like if you pay them $40, they'll carry your book, and regardless, basically, as long as you're a local author, as long as you're like from Santa Cruz County and whatever. So I wasn't gonna do that because I was like, fuck it, I'm just trying to give my book out for free anyway. But then I realized, um, it's so hard to distribute and advertise. I'm blocked off all the social media. Um, so, and since my mom kicked me some money for like once to publish the book, to print the book basically. Um, so, because I actually can, I'm like, all right, I'll just do this. So paid them to carry, I gave them 5 copies of it, and they're going to put it in, I think they put it in the local writers section, and they put it in the genre like history, ancient history section. And they 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 do a little put a little tag describing it or something like in front of the book, and then they include it. I think they write about it in their newsletter they send out. So it's like you get this whole package deal, promotion, whatever. So like um I just thought, it's like a way to like reach people that otherwise I wouldn't might not be able to reach. Um because I already sent out my book, like the PDF of my book, to like all of academia. Basically, I sent it to the whole like history department at UCLA, UCSF. SJSU, UCSC, Harvard, all the community colleges around here, like Foothill, West Valley, Cabrillo, um, Evergreen, I think. Anyway, so I sent it out to hundreds and hundreds of like professors and lecturers and everything in history, archaeology, anthropology, geography, etc. No replies, nada. So academia is evil. I mean, I've known that my whole life. That's why I never, I never even never planned to go to college. Like I think I was pretty young when I knew like I was not gonna go to college. I'm like, wait, you don't have to go to school, but you go to school and then you paid to go there? Pretty fucking stupid. Like, whatever. God bless. Like, sometimes that's the right path for somebody, but nowadays, no, dude. Academia is garbage. Like, it's evil, fucking evil. Maybe there's some exception, some school somewhere that's not evil, but the rest they're all like fascist. Um, so anyway, it's like, I'm being blocked out by academia, I'm blocked out by the internet. So this is just another way to try to like break through, hack through the matrix. Um, and maybe it's auspicious the fact that like this could arguably like the psychedelic movement started at bookshop Santa Cruz. Like it was Neil Cassidy. I think that's where Neil Cassidy worked there. He was like the driver for like the Merry Pranksters. He was a beatnik. I think he was the driver in like On the Road for Jack Kerouac. Um, but anyway, he lived in over the hill in Los Gatos, and then sometimes he was over here, and he was working at Bookshop Santa Cruz. I think back then it was called the Hip Pocket Bookstore, and it was like it's this whole like you know like it was the center of the hippie thing, basically, like the original hippie thing in Santa Cruz. And when they did the first public electric Kool-Aid acid test with the Grateful Dead, who were, I think, still called the Warlocks at that time, just like, a mile from my house or something, they advertised it. The only place they advertised it was in Bookshop Santa Cruz. So I'm like, if they're little posters that they put, I think I've seen a picture of that poster they put on the wall there, which is like, um, or maybe I have it. It might be this thing because I hung out with Neil Cassidy's daughter. Like she was, she used to like, do like have a table like at some like hippie events around here where she would have all this memorabilia and different books and stuff. So anyway, she gave me like a signed copy of I think, yeah. Oh no. Well, I think the top of that thing is a copy of maybe is related to like what they posted in Bookshop Santa Cruz, like Uncle Sam saying like, "Can you pass the acid test?" Unless that's the one they did the next one in San Jose when they became the Grateful Dead. But whatever they posted, they were like, it was basically like that. It was like, can you pass the acid test or something like that? Stupid edge lord, CIA fucking ass like agents. I don't know. Like I'm not honestly, I don't really like psychedelics, but it's fine. Like I know some people love it, but I do think like the psychedelic movement, at least like 50% chance that it was planned out by the CIA as a way to just like drug people out of politics, which worked for a lot of people. Um, but anyway, so if the psychedelic movement, even if it was a CIA movement, but if such an influential movement could start from that place, Bookshop Santa Cruz. Then hopefully like a better movement like that's not started by the CIA can also launch from that place. Um, because the psychedelic movement that was supposed to be like the new religion. That's what it was a plan. At least like the Merry Pranksters, that was their plan. They were trying to create the new religion for the new age. Um, but anyway, whatever. Um, they so yeah, Bookshop Santa Cruz is funny, like it's like a this hippie bookstore that has this radical past and whatever. And like when they first opened it, it was a scandal because they had like a naked sculpture in front, and then somebody called the cops on them. And then I think like the owner of it had to like have a debate with the cops, or maybe they took it to court or something. So it was a whole drama. It's like a huge part of the history of like Santa Cruz in the 60s. Um, and but they totally sold out, like during COVID. Uh, they, they seemed to, they went full like, mask. And I mean, I guess everybody had to, but I mean, I didn't go there much during COVID. I mean, everything was closed, whatever, but apparently like I found out that they weren't carrying, they basically refused to carry RFK Jr.'s book, and they just so I went in there and asked for it, and they said like they said they can order it for me. They're like, if you want it, they can order it for me. And I was telling them, well, thanks, but like I'm just saying you guys should carry it because it's a best-selling book and it's really important. And it shows all these terrible things and like what the Fauci did to people in Africa and India and all this stuff. Um, and I got like the death stare from some Karen behind the counter. And for all I know, that was one of the people that I was talking to yesterday. It's hard for me to know who the fuck is who with all these masks on. But yeah, they're very masky. I mean, luckily they eventually said like masks are optional but encouraged or something. So I'm like, all right, I'm fucking not wearing that shit. But I think most of the people that are in there wear them. Today I seen I mean, yesterday I seen a worker there that wasn't wearing it behind the counter. So that's pretty based. I bet it's fucking hard for her working there, like surrounded by all these. But what I do know is that not only would they not carry RFK Jr.'s book, but they had like this event to promote this. Uh, it was a children's book about why you need to get vaccinated against COVID. So it's basically like a brainwashing thing for kids to poison them. And they were promoting that, and they were like, "Oh, we're having an event for it," but of course it was a Zoom event, unfortunately, or else I'm sure we would have trolled the hell out of it, protested it or something. But anyway, so they're basically pretty lost. But at least they let us in without a mask, and at least like they I don't know, whatever. I mean, the world is fucked up. Like all the corporations are shit, all the stores are shit. The mainstream stores, the health food stores, everybody sold out. Like, so what can you do? Like, I'm working through Amazon. Obviously, Amazon is even worse than them. Like, I think Amazon actually mandated it for all their workers, whereas I'm pretty sure I asked one worker at Bookshop Santa Cruz one time, and I think he was saying that as far as he knew, they didn't mandate vaccines for their workers. Like they might have encouraged it, but So, you know, that's good. That's the bar. That's how fucking low the bar is now. It's like, okay, this business at least didn't forcibly murder their own workers. So, uh, but you know, like, but it is kind of still like pretty much normie central. So it would be, it's kind of a trip that, I don't know. Like, I feel kind of sneaky just the fact that I got my book in there because I'm like, if they knew who I was, you know, and maybe if they put me on the RFK list and they'll be like, you know, like, um, some of them might recognize me from when I went in there and told them off for not like carrying RFK Jr.'s book last year. But, but you know, in general, they're like, okay, this is just a book and just the process. And, but little do they know, you know, like how what a huge glitch they just put in their matrix, you know, like I don't know. And oh, and the other thing, like they say, you know, you can charge whatever, you can put whatever price you want for the book. So they take 40% and they mail me like 60% of the proceeds. Like I didn't even want to sell it in the first place, but I figured since it wasn't really that clear, it wasn't clear. Like I was asking them and the people at the counter there, they had never done this before, so I wasn't really sure if it was an option to put zero. So just in case that would trip it up or whatever, I just put $1. So you know, I gave them 5 copies, so they're all for $1. So yeah, come on down, Bookshop Santa Cruz. Um, and you know, hopefully people might check it out. You know, they're gonna if they include it in their mailing list, and they talk about it, and they're like, "Hey, it's $1." People might see that, and they'll be like, "Oh, this book's $1. It's 300 pages, or you know, 290, 80, whatever pages. $1. Well, maybe I'll check it out." So you know, that's the hope, and gotta make it go viral somehow. And you know, I just been giving it out to like everybody. Like I gave, you know, now that I finally got some copies, like I gave first just to my landlords, and I gave, and then to my pot club, like my dispensary I go to. Um, and I just gave it to both of them to like share. And then when I got more copies, like I gave, you know, the 5 to Bookshop Santa Cruz, and then I gave one to like a cool like hippie guy downtown who like sells books on Pacific Avenue. And I just gave one to my buddy that works in like a liquor store near my house, who's a friend of mine. And where did, oh yeah, I went to the mall because there's like a hippie store in the mall where at least there's one girl that was working in there that was really cool. I'm not even sure if she still is there, but but the people, I mean, they're all kind of fairly cool, you know. They're like uh it's like all spiritual stuff and you know, different countries and um but they were closed, I guess, because it's Sunday. So I slipped a copy like through the gates, through the bars of the door. So they're gonna get a weird surprise tomorrow morning or whatever. And then I put one in the bookstore that's in the mall because they had like a rack on the front, like right by the door that you, as you walk in, you know, like it's you have to walk around it because they put it right in the doorway, and it's the $1 book rack, and so this is just this Capitola Mall near my house, and so this is just this is a used bookstore, so it's not totally different from the bookshop Santa Cruz in downtown Santa Cruz, but this place, I mean, it's been pretty dead. I think partly it's dead because they have a sign still like urging people to wear masks after everybody else took their signs down. So, like, I haven't gone in there since then because I'm like, fuck you people. But anyway, so I snuck my book into the $1 book rack at that place at the used bookstore. I had to be very sneaky too. Like I took it out of my backpack and then I pretended, well, I did read through, like I was like reading a bunch of the books that were in the rack. So it made it look like I was looking at those books. And then the book that I ended up leaving there, it made it look like that was just one of the books that I was looking at that was their book that I just put back. But really it's my book and I just put it on the very top. So now that's the first book everybody will see when they go through there, if anybody even, hardly anybody's going in there lately, but maybe somebody will walk by and will catch their eye and then who knows what would happen though. Like because then if they try to buy it, they try to ring it up and it doesn't even come up as in the system. So I'm hoping then they'll either just give it to them for $1 or they'll maybe say it's not in the system, you can have it for free. I don't know, but I'm sure they won't. If they charge anything for it, they won't charge much because they are very cheap used bookstore. And but yeah, so now I have like 10 more copies left, and I ordered 20 more. I ordered 20 of the black and white ones because I got the first black and white copy um yesterday, and so I realized like it's fine. Like there's a few of the photos where it kind of sucks, like you can't see as well certain details, but for the most part it's not bad enough to outweigh like the fact that it's so much cheaper, it's like $7 each. So compared to 16 or whatever. So yeah, I immediately, as soon as I got it and saw that it's like not too bad, I just ordered immediately 20 copies. So apparently that's coming on Tuesday, which is amazing because I've been waiting, it took so long for everything else to arrive, but um so that'll be interesting. Like, so that'll give me more where I can, because those are cheap. They're like $7 each. Um, you know, relatively cheap, cheaper than the $16 one or the $25 premium color versions. So, I'm just gonna be the guy who just always has a backpack full of books, and then I'm just gonna be giving them out like candy. I mean, I'll try to give them to people that I think will actually read it, like I don't if I literally just give it to everybody, I mean, I kind of want to do that, like just literally give it to everybody I see, but I can't necessarily afford to do that. So I'll try to give it to people that I think will actually be interested in it. Um, but the more copies that are out there in circulation, every time I give it to somebody, I'm like, tell people about this, and, so, it's a way to break through the censorship, break through the groupthink and the matrix and everything, and get the truth out, so yeah, gonna try everything. I'm gonna try all like avenues, like I would really love to build up some momentum and then do some talks about it, because there's a lot of aspects of it that are easier to explain, like, in a lecture or something, or even things I've learned since writing the book that can augment the information in there. Um, so might try to do that at Bookshop Santa Cruz, because they often have like author talks, and I'd love to try to do it at the Rosicrucian Museum in San Jose, because they have, it's an Egyptian museum, like it has like the most ancient Egyptian mummies and stuff, like west of the Mississippi in the US. So that would be a perfect place for it. I've already talked to their like grandmaster. She sounded like interested in my work, like she went to my dad's college, like CIIS, the California Institute of Integral Studies in San Francisco. So anyway, so I'll just be going all avenues, giving these things out wherever I can and trying to red pill the masses. See, my cat's trying to get in. So yeah, anyway, there was some other dramas recently, like I got I got assaulted by a store manager, Karen. Like that's some fucked up shit when Karen is the manager, and then when you try to go to the manager, then what can they do? Like they can't Karen, well they can't call my manager. So anyway, I got assaulted, this chick like hit me. Still hurts my pinky still hurts because she hit me like I was carrying the food. Anyway, I'm pressing charges. Like there's a whole thing. So that's a whole nother story. I might do a video about that, but crazy ass yuppies around here. Hippies, like it's like the fake hippies are like the worst people in the world, like I'm like a kind of a hippie, or basically, um in a lot of ways, but the fake hippies, like the people who are all like tie-dye, but they're really like, Nazi scum, like government bootlickers, or like woke, like, whatever. Just there's so many like the worst type of people like that. Like she always wears tie-dye. She's always, wearing like her Sublime shirt or whatever, and like and a mask. They're always wearing masks. So that might have been part of it, but it was about something else. It was about, I was complaining about their stupid policy, and this chick like assaulted me. And yeah, that was interesting. I hit her back. I'm sorry. I hit people back. I'm not even sorry. Anybody hits me, I'm gonna hit them back. But I just hit her once and then I just left. And then she called the cops on me for hitting her back. So I was like, oh, thank you. I'll stick around for that, because I'm like, she was kind enough to like videotape herself assaulting me, since it's like, it's in her store, so it's her cameras are, you know, she has cameras in the store. So she videotaped herself assaulting me and then had the decency to call the police, even though she's calling them on me. But I'm like, okay, yeah, good luck with that. So yeah, I just waited there for the cops to show up, and I was like, yeah, this chick assaulted me. So yeah, I'm pressing charges. It's funny, like they try to pressure me not to press charges because they're like, are you sure? Because she says she's not going to press charges. She says so. I'm like, yeah, I know she's not going to press charges because she's on camera assaulting me. Like, no shit. But I am going to press charges because she's on camera assaulting me. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Never a dull moment with these yuppies. Anyway, I guess that's it. You have now been thoroughly updated. Update complete. All right, take care, everybody. And you can check out, if you want, you can order my books on Amazon. I mean, I think it's like through the Kindle book program, but I think you should be able to find it just on Amazon. And if you get the black and white version, which is basically works, like it's not quite as good, but it's fine. Like you can still, it's just for the photos, the photos, you can still mostly see what they are. But so the black and white version is like 7 something or 8 something, and then the color version is like $17 or $16, whatever. And then the Kindle version is like $2.99. anyway, I don't get any proceeds from any of this. This just goes to support Bezos's, you know, head wax or whatever. But, you know, but it's good to like, because every time you order it, they print a new copy and then